heaven. Rain is falling on the ground. Yeah, when I look up to heaven, I see rain on the ground.
When I woke up just a few minutes ago, I looked out the window and rain was falling around, and it was so bad I thought for a second, is the flood coming back to Millvale? It was frightening. So week one, we come into the studio and we're surrounded by a blizzard, and here in week two, surrounded by a crazy rainstorm. I mean, it was really pounding. And it made me think that I should remind you that we do have an option for the outside venues. So if it rains the day of the Millvale Music Festival, fear not, we do have plans in place. I'm Brian Crawford. Welcome to the Millvale Music Minute, otherwise known as because we've got lots of good stuff here in store for you today. Ian is not here today. He is actually underneath the studio. I don't know if you realize, but Gertie's Run runs directly under the Millvale Studios, where we are located here on the River's Edge Radio Network. And Ian is down there working hard to make sure that the studio does not flood during today's performance. Actually, Ian is working on a performance himself, so he will be in and out through the month of January, but he promises he will be back more regularly through February, March, April, and May. I am Brian Crawford. I am the master of the Millvale Shore here in the River's Edge Radio Network, broadcasting our Millvale Music Minute event, where we here bring you access to the Millvale Music Festival, what's going on, what you need to know, information to keep in mind, and we will introduce you to great people such as Tom Benoit, who is sitting right there. Why don't you wave to everybody, Tom?
Hey.
Tom, I feel like this is a reversal of roles here today,
It is.
Tom. Tom used to be my producer back when I did an evening show, and I was over in this chair, and he was in that chair, and it was always a good time. I miss it. You should,
Yeah.
If you ever get a day off work, a holiday, you should stop on in.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm off for Martin Luther King Day, so
There you go. You should
I
come
can
on
produce
in.
for you on Monday.
I think that would be cool. Yeah, we'll have to come in and we'll have a good time. But
Yeah.
no, Tom's a great mind. It's wonderful. I don't know if you listen to the River Talk here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at riversedgepgh.com, but if you do, you'll remember that I often was moaning and crying and bitching about the computer.
Yes.
And Tom, because he's such a great technical mind, he came in and he built a fantastic computer that we use now, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And Tom has been tasked with being in a similar role for the Millvale Music Festival, and he is going to be going out to different venues and making sure that everything is set up with his team to make sure that everything is set up for the artists at the music festival. So, Tom, why don't we talk a little bit about your background,
Sure.
who you are, and why you're the perfect guy to get this job done.
So I guess I have two qualifications that make me good for this. And number one, I'm a tech guy by day. So, I work for an IT consulting company, so I work on computers all day. So I'm very familiar with technology. But I also have a pretty good music background. I've not only played music since I was like 14 or 13 or so, like actually seriously, because like everyone plays like in the band whenever they're in elementary school, but like that's not serious music unless you're some kind of prodigy. But whenever I was in college, then I started to get into music production of my own. So like I made techno music and metal music, and I'm currently working on an album for a video game.
Nice.
So that's,
can you tell us what video game, or is that confidential?
No, I can tell you. It's
Okay.
the video game is a Tofu Tale, and it's a puzzle game where you're a block of tofu, and you have to make it through a whole bunch of levels, and there's a whole bunch of different puzzle elements, and it's really neat. But I'm making all the music for that game, and it's primarily metal / chiptune stuff. So, but like I'm doing all the recording, all the instrumentation, and all the production, and all the mixing and mastering. So like I'm very familiar with audio and leveling, and making everything sound good, especially at live events. I did our audio here at the 1 year party for the River's Edge.
And that was great.
So I've been around audio a lot my entire life, just because I love to do it. It's interesting to me to get behind the board and make sure everything sounds great.
Yeah, and he's done a wonderful job here at the River's Edge. He's one of our business partners here. We have 3 partners that all have kind of different roles in making this business run, and it's been great because I can text him or call him early in the morning while he's at work, and he's able to answer my questions and answer my technical issues even while he's trying to do his day job as well. So definitely a great talent. And how do you? What are some of the challenges that you foresee with some of the venues that we have here in Millvale in making them acoustically sound and okay for this concert? Because I know like one of the challenges is some of the bars, for example. You go in there and the reverb might not be there, and I know there's different things that you have to work with, maybe some tricky things. I know we experienced some of that when we did our pod crawl here with the River's Edge. So what are some of the things that you plan to do to try to help correct that, or what are some of the challenges that you see?
So one of the big challenges that I see is that a lot of the venues here are, they're not really built for music. So we kind of have to get the music ready as best we can. And, that's all going to come down to the setup at the event. And, we're going to do some testing the day before. And really, that's all going to be that entire Friday before the event is just putting in all the equipment and testing it out, making sure that when we play it at the volume that we're planning at, that it doesn't, there's not some echo coming through the microphones, and that you're not going to get that wonderful squeal that you hear at concerts sometimes. So that's, we're going to try to avoid all that, and that's just going to be through extensive testing between myself and Paul Bossum and Jonathan Keelback. And so there's a good core of us that are going to be running around on that Friday, getting everything set up and making sure that everything sounds great.
And both Paul and Jonathan are musicians as well, so they have experience with this as well. So the team is really a strong team. But you're not just going in the night before and checking things out. You're going to be leading up to that, correct?
Oh, yeah. We're Paul and I are going to be going around to all the venues and sort of like scoping them out and seeing, well, where can we set up and how many people do we expect to actually be in the space? So, that's going to be part of it, because really how many people are going to be there is really going to determine, well, what equipment can we get for that venue. So like something like Nova Cafe is going to obviously get a way different setup than like maybe the Gap Park stage or an outdoor stage or something like that. So it's really going to be going around to the venues and finding out not only how big they are, but where can we put the equipment, and also where can the musicians put their equipment, because we're going to have bands in and out all day. So it's going to be a lot of coordinating, and we're really going to have to lean on our stage managers and the people that are going to be running those venues to sort of coordinate that a little bit and work with the band so that everything runs smoothly.
Now, you mentioned Gap Park, which is an outdoor stage, and as I said in the intro of today's show, that we do have a backup for that. That's going to be at the community center if, for some reason, we have weather like we have today. So are there any challenges to have like a backup center? Would you just have a separate set of equipment that's already set up there, or do you need to like find something that is going to be applicable at either venue, or how would you work in something like that?
Ideally, we would like to have separate setups, but it just depends on what comes through sponsorship to see if we can get that extra set of PA equipment. So and that's really what we get is really going to determine what we can do. But I know that if should it rain or something happen like that, I know that I'll sort of be doing what I did for the pod crawl when we did that not too long ago. It's just like, all right, let's grab the gear, let's throw it in a car, and let's just take it over there as soon as we can, so that we can keep the show going and keep everyone entertained for the entire day.
I want to show people the form that we have here. This is the Millvale Music Festival venue form. So one of the things that you're going to be doing with your committee is going around to these different venues, and you're basically going to assess the venues and find out what equipment they need, where bands are going to be going in, where they're leaving. You're going to be assessing the acoustic quality, the sound quality of the venues, all of that stuff. And that's one of the things that we're really being proactive in making sure that these venues are really set up and ready to go for the artists who come in to perform at the festival. And I think that's really a great thing that we're being proactive like that, because you hear stories of different events where people go in and there's not a sound system there. We're trying to take the steps necessary to make sure that everything is smooth for the people who come to perform at the festival.
Yeah, and that's just I would say part of doing your homework. It's better to be prepared and like be a little over prepared in those situations, so that whenever you go in to do the show and you have bands playing, that you don't have to do all these last minute things and then the show starts late, and then everyone's late, and everything finishes late. So, it's more about getting everything set up beforehand so that not that we can kick back and rest easy.
No, none of that's gonna happen in this 12-hour day. In fact, I'm actually trying. We'll see. I'm fingers crossed. I'm trying to get off work the day before the festival and the day after the festival. So
yeah, we want to do as much as we can so that our stress level isn't at 110, maybe it's at 95 or a little bit, something like that. It's a little less stressful. It's just like one less thing to worry about because there's going to be a lot of moving pieces on that day. So, worrying about, well, are the levels right? Is this acoustically sound in here? That's something that we won't have to worry about.
Yeah, I know the way I like to plan events is I like to have everything set up well in advance and then just sit there and wait for problems to happen. Just wait for things to go wrong. So I think that's a good philosophy to have. Not that you're being negative in thinking that things are going to go wrong, but you have to prepare because something will inevitably go wrong. I mean, that's just the nature of any event you go to. Even the most well-oiled machines that do something every day, there's going to be something that's going to go wrong. A cable's going to go wrong. Even at some of these venues that's what they do as a profession. You go there and you still see something go wrong. A cable goes wrong or something goes haywire or something's out of funk, and they have to make sure everything is going smoothly. So
preparation is key in this for sure. And it's all about reducing that stress, because we're gonna have plenty of things to worry about on that day, and we don't want to worry about that kind of stuff. So
yeah, we had a busy weekend here as far as some updates for the music festival. For those of you listening, we had a lot of meetings, and we are now officially a standing committee of the Millvale Community Development Corporation. So, got the cowbell going. We want more cowbell, right?
Yeah, always more cowbell.
More cowbell. People are going to stop coming to this festival now just over the freaking cowbell. But yeah, we're officially a standing committee of the Millvale Community Development Corporation, the festival is. And why that's important for those of you listening is it covers our insurance for one. And so that's a big deal. That's going to help the festival take off and be safe for those of you who are coming. And it also provides a connection to a bank account to help get sponsorships, so that way we're able to help put everything together. So that was big deal. We also had a meeting with the Borough Council, who's very supportive of everything that we are doing.
Thankfully, just thank you, Borough Council, for being so awesome. And
it's been wonderful. And Brian Spalls, who's on the council, has been an awesome advocate. And everyone I've talked to through the council and people who go to council meetings and things like that, they just constantly tell us how he's constantly pushing the festival. This is how it's such a great idea. This is so wonderful. Everyone's got to check it out. We talked with the council about trying to come up with some parking solutions to make things easier for people coming into the festival and all sorts of other good things there. So
heck yeah.
I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome, and things are really coming together. It's gonna be great. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to hit us up over the weekend. You can hit us up on Twitter at Millvale Music. You can hit me up at River Talk PGH, and you can also just message us on Facebook. That's what a lot of people have been doing. One of the things that I have been seeing some messages from some of the artists. They're wondering, have I been selected, or have you made any decisions yet? And I can tell you that the submission deadline is going to be in March. So there's quite a while yet before we're going to be making any final solutions, final decisions. So just stick with us and stay tuned, and all of that information will be coming out. So I'm excited for all of that. It's going to be great. We have an entire committee that's going to be working on that to place people in the correct place via venue and via style or genre of music, to make sure that it all makes sense, because that is one of the things that you do hear from some of these some other festivals, is that there is like a kind of a jump, which someone like me, sometimes I enjoy that jump in genre, but not everybody is into that. So we're trying to make it easy for people to be able to kind of go from band to band and check everything out.
And that's something that we're actively trying to do as well when we go and talk to the venues, is finding out, well, what do you really hate? Like, if you really hate rap, we're going to try not to put any rap music at your venue, or country or metal or whatever. Or we're gonna have bands in your venue in your place all day, and we don't want to throw away your kind of push away your normal customers, but we also want to help you bring some people in as well. So we're gonna try and do our best to sort of coordinate and accommodate everyone, by booking maybe close to the same genre of bands in the same venue.
Yeah, definitely, and that's very important. And I know, like Panza Gallery, for example, he specifically Mark Panza, who's on our committee actually, he does some of he's part of our marketing committee.
Yes.
He had said that he would like to see some jazz music in his venue, so we are going to obviously take that under consideration and try to make that happen for him. So yeah, we are going to be working with the venues and stuff like that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited.
Is there anything that you think that the artists who are listening need to know from you, Tom?
I would say the biggest thing is just to keep an eye out on your email and the one that you put down when you contacted us, because whenever we do select you, we'll not only give you a schedule, but we'll be telling you where you can load in, where you can put your gear, because we're going to ask in the venues, like, do you have storage space for gear? And if they don't have storage space, well, we kind of have to put it somewhere else. So, we'll have all that information for you, so that, you don't have to ask somebody for it. We want to provide that to you so that you can plan ahead, and, we can all work together to try and make this a really fantastic day. And I mean, it's shaping up to be that way, so I'm super excited. But,
we now have over 200 artists who have applied to to be in this festival, so we have a lot of work ahead of us.
We sure do.
And I know we have got some people suggesting things that they want to do as far as volunteering and things like that. We have some interesting people who are coming to meet us this coming Tuesday at our bi-weekly committee meeting. So lots of things are going on, and we really I think that we have just an extremely strong committee, and I really think that is going to really help this festival really take off in its first year.
I agree. So, and I think for us from a technical side is all that set up on Friday. I don't even think I'm going to have to take off work. I have to, hey IT, take a little break. You can't use me today. Yeah,
exactly.
So,
yeah, everybody needs a break at one point or another.
Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to it. Can't wait for it to happen. Stressed out about it, already. But that sort of lights the fire into my butt to get it going.
Funny because I knew I was going to be stressed out either way on my end, but I'm stressed out for different reasons. So originally than what I originally thought is what I mean. So like originally I thought I was going to be stressed out because I thought I was going to be running around, running myself ragged, trying to draw up some interest for this festival. And here I find myself in a situation where I'm just treading water trying to keep up. We've gotten so many emails and messages and notifications that it's been exhausting, but it's a good thing. If I'm going to be exhausted for something, I would rather be exhausted for success than exhausted because I'm trying to bring people in. I remember back when I started the CalU Relay for Life, we would have team captain meetings. And it's a little bit different than a situation like this where people just show up. At the Relay for Life, you had teams that were organized, and they were fundraising teams, and they had meetings, and you had to try to get everybody into team captain meetings to get them interested in events, try to get them to fundraise before the event, tell them things that they needed to know the day of the event, and all sorts of things. And that was outside of your volunteers. That was the teams. You had an entire group of volunteers separate from those teams. And I remember having these team captain meetings, and every once in a while, no one would show up. And we would just go through the student union with noisemakers and shake things and try to bring people in and say, hey, you got to find out about this awesome event. And that was a lot of my work early on. And it's so different in this scenario where I'm just overwhelmed with people who want to get involved and are excited about this event. And I'm just trying to be as accessible as possible and be able to respond to people's emails within more than a couple days.
I was really surprised to find out that we had over 2,000 people interested in going in less than like 48 hours or something like that after we posted the event. The response for this event has just been tremendous. I've been really, really excited about it, and excited that so many other people are just like, I really want to go to this.
It's gonna be great. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Just a quick note. We opened our show today with Rain by, the album was Grand Tumpo, but it's by the Neon Swing Experience. Before that, it was Josephine by Tim Vitullo. We're closing out tonight with the Bleo Brothers and It sounds like Ian is downstairs banging on the floor, so hopefully he's not getting flooded out, so I'm going to go check up on him. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow morning. I will be here, right here, for 10 to 11 a.m. at riversedgepgh.com with my show, River Talk. Tom, hopefully we'll get you back in. I know you were doing Gike's Got Game, but he keeps moving to the mornings, which is allowed us to do this show, which is a good thing. But hopefully we'll hear your voice back on the network here in the next couple days. We'll get you in on Martin Luther King Day. I think that will be cool.
I'll come down on Monday.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. And what else do we have going on? Local music, always at riversedgepgh.com.
24/7.
Yep. Shout out to the Millvale Community Development Corporation, our other big sponsor in the festival so far. They're just fantastic to work with. Great stuff there. I'm going to take care of Ian before he drowns. Don't forget to come back this Thursday, 7 p.m., right here at Millvale Music. I'm Brian Crawford.
And I'm Tom Benoit.
You're listening to the Rivers Edge Radio Network production here at the Millvale Music Festival Facebook page.